Now, this year marks the 75 years of India-Philippines diplomatic relationship. Ties between both the nations have had a significant cooperation in defense sector. Our principal diplomatic correspondent, Sidhant Sibal, spoke to the Philippines ambassador to India, Josel Francisco Ignacio, who talked about the recent delivery of the supersonic Brahmos missile to India, by India, in fact, to the Southeast Asian nation. Listen to this.
I'll come to the bit of the situation when it comes to South China Sea / West Philippine Sea. But let me continue with the India bit. Now, security and defense have been one of the key pillar which has again seen a sudden spike, as you pointed out. Now, India has sent Brahmos missiles, and this is something that you have got from India. How do you see this acquisition by Philippines from India going forward?
Well, I think two things, no? We have our defense relationship with India has always been there. In 2006, we signed a memorandum, an agreement on defense cooperation that provides the framework that underpins broader cooperation along many lines of defense. For instance, training and education, exchanges, port calls by naval vessels. But of late, again, as a reflection of the intensification of the overall relations, our defense cooperation has also intensified, which is again, very welcome. The Brahmos is significant in the sense that it provides the Philippines, credible deterrence. As you know, for the past decades, we have been modernizing our armed forces, and we have been trying to build credible deterrence. And Brahmos gives us, it's an important start to that ongoing journey. It's an important element of this ongoing journey. So the Brahmos acquisition is a milestone for the Philippines in terms of, armed forces modernization and defense, credible defense.
You talked about high-level engagement. We saw the visit of the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, and that visit saw India also coming out in support for Philippines' sovereignty as well, at a time when we have seen increased Chinese aggressiveness with your country. How do you see the visit as, and how do you see these comments by the Indian side on your sovereignty at a very crucial time?
We look at it within the context of India's clear support for the arbitral award in the arbitration case in the South China Sea. India's clear position of support from June 2023. So that's one context in which we look at it. But the other thing is, it's an important recognition that by the EAM of the Philippines agency with regard to its actions, especially in the South China Sea. If I may, digress a little, for instance, you would hear some narratives, for instance, that what's happening in the waters in the South China Sea, for instance, is a case of rivalry among powers, in which the other littoral states are put forward as if they are just pawns, in a larger chessboard, which cannot be farther than the truth. The EAM's acknowledgement of the Philippines' sovereignty dovetails very clearly with what we have been emphasizing as the Philippines. That is, we determine our own, interests. We have our own sovereignty to protect. We take our actions there. We take our positions there because our own territory, our own sovereign jurisdiction, sovereignty, sovereign rights in the EEZ are being placed under risk. And we, as an independent state, as a sovereign country, has our own policy, we have our own strategic calculus, and we act based on that.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.